welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my winter foundation routine, and in this video I'm going to be only using these two brushes right here. Well, mostly this one. This one is the 3D HD Kabuki brush, and this one is the 3D HD Precision brush. And I've mentioned this particular brush in a few favorites videos before, and I love the fact that you get the best of all worlds pretty much, because for foundation you get that motion of painting your face as you would a flat foundation brush, but at the same time you can get the airbrush finish look that you can get with other kabuki brushes such as this one. And I love the shape of these brushes. They're very unique and I've never seen anything like it. It has this kind of like a house shape and this A-line up top where you can really get precise with application and where you want your product to be. And then it has this slanted face on either side where you can really tilt your brush however you want it and maneuver it however you want it and really apply the product onto the face, kind of like you're painting a canvas. I love that with these two brushes I can get anywhere on the crevices and also the contours of my face without having to make those like really weird faces where I'm just like, I don't know if it's reaching it properly or if I'm applying this correctly in the right area. This tutorial is actually going to be a talk-through tutorial, and I haven't done a talk-through tutorial since I first started YouTube, and it's been a while because I got so much criticism that it just took a shot at my confidence at talking while I'm doing makeup, and so I'm going to try this again. So hopefully this goes well and I hope you all like it. So if you want to see my winter foundation routine, then let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial. So I'm going to start off with some primer first, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be using two different types of primers, which I will explain as I'm going through the tutorial, but I pretty much just want to use two different primers to balance out my face because my whole entire face right now is not normal, dry, or oily, and so some parts are oily, some parts are dry, and some parts are normal. So first I'm going to be using my Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer, and this primer I'm going to be using just on my nose area because that's where I get the most oily, and so I'm just gonna put just a little bit of, probably like half a pump on the tip of my brush right here, and then just paint it on where I want it on my face. So I normally am already pretty normal for the most part, but for some reason this past couple of months, like my nose has just been like so stubborn and nothing works and nothing like keeps the oil at bay, and so I probably have to find something new to help control that oil. For the rest of the face, I'm going to be using my Cover FX Illuminating Primer. This is a brand new primer from them, and I'm just going to do the same as the other primer. I'm going to squeeze some primer out onto the brush and then just paint it on the areas where I want it. And what I love about this primer is that it just lets me glow from within without it leaving my skin greasy, and I love that this doesn't emphasize any dry patches and it doesn't make me oily throughout the day. And for my winter foundation routine, I'm really going for that really natural and very skin-like kind of finish, and pretty much like a dewy but not like overly greasy kind of finish, which I really love for the winter because I always want to focus on like skin or like skincare during the winter time. So now we're on to foundation. So I'm going to be using my Luminous Silk Foundation from Giorgio Armani. I love this foundation for the winter time, especially like when I'm getting really dry on my cheeks and also on my chin area, because it doesn't emphasize those dry patches at all. And I just like that the foundation helps to make my skin look like a better version of itself. I just pumped some of the foundation onto the brush, and then I'm going to first like do a painting motion as I did with the primer earlier, so I just know where exactly I'm putting the foundation. And then I'm going to start doing that dabbing motion where I'm blending out the foundation as well. And what I really love about this brush is that it gives me like the best of both worlds, where I kind of go back to that throwback where I used to use that flat foundation brush where I'm literally painting my face, and then at the same time it is a kabuki brush, and so whatever streaks that you have, as you can see right here, you can blend it all out and give that really nice airbrush finish that you do get with kabuki brushes as your foundation brushes. And then when you see any more streaks on your face that's left over that needs to be blended out still, all I do with this brush is pretty much pressing the foundation and also around that area where it's streaky, just so that it blends nicely. And then I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but I do have a blemish right here from my little pimple that I had last week, but I want to cover that up. But I'm not going to be using a concealer this time. I'm just gonna use the same foundation that I'm using right now and just do a more concentrated application. So I'm gonna directly dab the foundation on top of that blemish right there, and then let's see, do I have any more? I have one right here and right here. And then after you've applied that foundation on those areas, I'm going to do the exact same motion that I showed you earlier with my streaks and just press that foundation onto the skin. So that you know it's concentrated in that area and you're not just pretty much moving the foundation around, which is pretty much useless. Alright, so now it's time to conceal under the eyes and also do some highlighting on the face. And so today I'm going to be using my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I love this because it is so lightweight and it covers really well and it doesn't crease out throughout the day. And so I'm gonna be applying this directly from the doe foot applicator, and so I'm just going to dot the areas where I want to conceal and highlight. And so I'm gonna be doing some dots right underneath my eyes in kind of a triangular shape, as you can see right here. So that's what I'm kind of doing. And this doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna blend it out later. And then I'm gonna do a little bit on the bridge of my nose just to lift that up a little bit because I'm Filipino and I have no bridge. Well, I do kind of, but it's not very prominent. And then I also like to lift up like these two on my Cupid's bow because it just looks nice in pictures. And then I'm gonna do just a little bit on the center of my forehead, kind of like a, I don't know how to describe this, like the feet of like a chicken or something like that. So, alright, so now that we have that and I look like I have war paint on my face, I'm gonna be using the same brush that we've been using, but I'm going to use the other side just because it is lighter than the foundation. I'm going to do the same motion of painting. And see the tip of the brush right here? This is where I want to precisely blend up the concealer and really like get in there and make sure that I'm not missing any areas. And then for the chin part, I'm just gonna do that dabbing motion where I'm pressing the concealer onto the skin and then blending in a circular motion. And then I'm gonna do the same for the Cupid's bow. And then for my forehead, I'm going to be blending it out this way and this way, kind of like using my brows as a guideline. And then for my bridge, I'm just going to do the same dabbing motion. And you can also use a smaller brush for this if you think that this brush is too big for your nose. But as long as you're keeping your brush still and you're not moving that brush around your nose area, then you should be good. So now we're gonna do a little bit of contouring just to put a little bit more dimension on the face. And so today I'm gonna be using my Sonia Kashuk Chic Cheek Defining Contour Stick. And so instead of just applying it directly to the face, I'm going to be using the very tip of this brush right here. And you don't want to go too heavy, so put a little bit at a time and take the pressure off the brush. And just let the bristles do the work for you so that it's not too harsh and you don't have to fix it later on. And as you can see, I don't know if the camera is picking this up, but it looks really, really light. It looks really natural because you're applying it from the brush and not directly from the stick itself. And then for the rest of the face, I'm just going to do the same for the sides of my forehead. Kind of following that hairline with the tip of the brush. And then also gonna put some on my jawline just to recede all the fat that's in here. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then just to make sure that you don't have any harsh lines with your contour application, just do that dabbing step that I keep mentioning throughout this video and just press everything onto the skin. Make sure everything is well blended. Like I have some harsh edges right here that I want to blend out. And then if you wanted it to be a little bit heavier, like let's say you're going on a night out and you want something that will show up in your flash photos and stuff like that, it's really great to use like this little brush right here. And I'm gonna show you that just a little bit right now. Grabbing some product to the tip of that brush and then going on the hollows of the cheeks right here. And as you can see, it's drawing that really strong line where you want your contour to be. And then to blend it out, I'm going to tilt my brush this way so that one of the faces is directly pressing onto the skin. So I'm going to drag that contour a little bit upwards. And then same thing when you're contouring your nose, just use the tip of the brush to line where you want that contour to be. And then instead of dragging it downwards, I'm just going to blend it out like this. Use the tip of the brush to blend it out. Alright, so now that I have my full base makeup on, I'm just gonna put on the rest of my face and I'll be right back. So that is it for my winter foundation routine. I hope that you all liked it and I hope that you found it helpful. And if you have any more tutorial requests, leave them in the comment section down below. I hope that you all have a great day and I will see you again soon. Bye!